Hello, hello. Hey, Veronica. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Let's see. It's not Friday yet.
No, but it's getting there.
Yeah, you're right. We're headed the right direction. We're moving.
Yeah.
It's already Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah.
Now, before you know it, it will be midday tomorrow at the end of class, and we'll be halfway through the week. So they seem to roll by fast these days, don't they?
They do. It's like the time-space continuum.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just like, okay.
Yeah.
I have to go to my phone to find out what day it is so I don't get caught up in that warp.
Oh. I was at my brother's the other day, and we were talking about that. And he was complaining about how fast his days are beginning to go by. Now, this is somebody that's 16 years younger than me. And, I was saying, well, just hang on, buddy, because they just get faster.
Yes.
You begin to realize, it's like, wow, this is going by really fast. So,
and this is the time where it gets darker earlier and later and light later, like 8 o'clock. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, it's still dark.
Yeah, your days are much shorter. Yeah, during the
week.
Mm-hmm. Unless you take my suggestion and then, you basically from about, November through about April of the year you move to Brazil or Uruguay.
Oh.
See?
Okay.
They're in summer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
See, that's their summer. They're having long days.
Yeah, see? They are.
Yeah, and we're getting the shorter days because of the angle,
Right. And so how do they handle healthcare there?
Oh, actually, they have a very good healthcare system. Now you would have to buy, rather than your Medicare, you would have to pay for like a private insurance plan. But their private insurance plans are probably not as costly as what we pay in Medicare.
Charles, I just mentioned something that I may have to leave around 3. I'm just giving you a heads up. Okay.
All right. Well, I don't anticipate us having to go like real long today. So probably by 3 o'clock, I would have already talked about your stuff.
Okay. All right.
Unlikely.
And everybody else. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. I don't really have all that much, to talk about. Well, I do, but I don't really at the same time. So let's see. Yeah, we got a whole 7 of us here. Let's see who's here. Well, John is here. Susan is here. Hi, Jean. Yvonne is here, and June. Okay. So, and I don't expect Bob or Eloise today because they're all.
No.
Yeah. But yeah. We're still missing Wanda, Bernice. Let's see who else. 3 or 4 others. So anyway.
I had my booster today. I had my booster.
Yay! Okay.
Yay.
Good for you.
I'm excited.
Good.
I haven't seen Bernice in a while. Is she out somewhere?
Oh, she was around last week.
Last was she?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last Thursday, and actually, I think she was here Friday.
Okay, I don't remember.
Yeah, she snuck in late. So, but no, she was here. So that's fine. Anyway, let's get rocking and rolling. Okay. We'll start looking at everybody's stuff. Yeah. Okay. So, I'm just going to, if people aren't here, I'm just going to kind of thumb through it real quick. And if they show up, then I'll go back and talk about it. But anyway, these are Eloise's drawings. She only sent in 2. She sent in the Bohemian character here, and, he's got an interesting kind of expression on his face and look, but did a nice job with that for 20-minute sketch. And then this is the Native American bride who I'm sure everybody had fun with. We had a little bit longer on her, I think, but yeah, she was an interesting character too. This is the painting that Eloise sent in, and the other day yesterday I was talking about it. I'd gotten this, and I want to kind of talk to her about the values, and the references she sent in, because the fact is, she's got way, way too much light and not enough shadow on most of these figures. And if you look at the reference, and we will right here, what she seems to be missing that she could use is there's quite a bit of shadow, like on the vertical part of the hat, really over most of his chest, and this is Eloise's. And then, this little wagon with the canopy on it really puts about half of this child's face in the shadow. This one is about the same. This one, it's all in shadow because of the hat he's wearing. And then this little girl right here, pretty much the upper half of her head is in shadow. The lower part of her face is in light. But in the painting, she treated them really flat, like the legs and things like that. And again, finding that light side, dark side, on any kind of 3-dimensional object, the light is not going to be even, as it moves around the form. It's going to have to change.
She had sent that in some months ago, right?
Well, she had started one and then kind of gave up on it. And from what I understand, this one she started over. And so this is another same idea, but it's a different painting. And she's got a good start on it, but she kind of missed right out of the box, setting up that light and shadow. And you really got to pay attention to that, because in the early stages of the painting, that's really what you're trying to do, is you're trying to divide the light and the dark shapes, from each other. So
I'm gonna drink a water in a minute.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about that a little bit. If she gets back here on Thursday, we'll be talking about that.
Do you think that she did that because the photograph is an indoor picture and she wanted them to be outside? Do you think in trans?
Well, I don't know. That's something I want to ask her. Now where she's at here, she could go in one of 2 directions. Okay. She could go back in and restate the darks, and put, make a light shadow side for each one of these. And or, maybe she's thinking that this is her dark, and then she'll put something even lighter, to help create the form. So, yeah, that's something I want to talk to her about and ask her and see which, what she's really kind of thinking about, which direction she'll go in. So, So we will find out on Thursday.
Okay.
Okay. And then this is a lady who has shown up a couple of times, and she sent in kind of a collection of her paintings. Jenny Haynes is her name. And I think she's a friend of Eloise's. And I wasn't sure whether she was going to be here today or not, but, you know, she's been doing, you know, a fair amount of painting. And this is just kind of some of her work. And so I don't think she's here at this point, though Bernice made it. Hey, Bernice. Avatal made it too. Okay. Not getting any sound out of Bernice so far. All right. Anyway, moving on, because Jenny's not here either. We got Mr. John Gigliotti. Ta-da. All right, John.
I'm here.
How are you? Okay. Now, I sent you an email.
Yeah, I'd resent you some. Did you get the resends?
I did. The problem,
Yeah,
you resent them. Now, maybe you upped the contrast on them or something, but you
right, correct, yeah.
Yeah, but you didn't do anything about the resolution. The problem was, I think this whole image is like 200 pixels wide. Okay, and it needs.
Could you make it a little bigger?
Well, that's the problem. So, you know, I'm going to show you that because it's so resolution, you know, so low in resolution.
Right.
By the time you get it up to this size, it's just
You
falling.
got nothing.
Yeah.
You lost it.
Yeah, it's all pixelated. See? And so, did you take this with your phone, John?
Yeah, I don't know why it's so different.
Well, when you sent it, did it ask you whether you wanted like the actual size or lower resolution or higher resolution?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. Because I mean, these are really small.
Huh.
You know, I mean, they're like really small. And
strange.
So yeah, it's like like I said, yeah, the size of these, you know, each of your drawings are, and this is both sets. They're about 200 pixels wide.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I mean, that's you know.
I don't know what I did differently because.
Yeah, I mean, to be able to read it clearly on the screen, you need about 72 pixels per every inch.
Yeah.
And so this is probably an 8-inch drawing. Multiply that out by 72. You know, it's.
Oh, I know. I see. Right. But I don't understand it because when I got your email, I thought that would have corrected it, but I guess not.
Yeah, I would suggest maybe just retaking them.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's something going on with the way you took the photo.
Yeah. Wonder what it was. I can't imagine.
Low res version of it, and that happened on all of them. You know, so I mean, you know, you could kind of get the idea of what's going on.
Yeah.
And you know, I guess just out of looking at these, what I would say is, and we talked about this before, I want you to practice laying down a tone and trying to lay it down, you know, as kind of a smooth, even transition. Just practice doing that. Because that's, you know, your general proportions and things like that are, you know, pretty good. It's how you're using the pencil, and you also tend to work kind of in one direction, you know, at that.
Right. Yeah, I know that. I see that after I'm done.
Yeah. And so, again, you know, think more about the plane that you're trying to describe and the direction it's moving in, and try to, you know, use the pencil in that direction. So for each of those planes. So, you know, it's going to be different it's going to be different here than it is down here. And then the same here. So, but that's.
I did use a lighter, but I used an H. I only used an H pencil. Usually I use H or B.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, a B would have, you know, you could have gotten more range out of.
Right.
By varying the pressure. You know, the harder pencil you use, the less range and value you're going to get out of it.
Right.
So, somebody have a question? Got something going on. Okay.
So you want me to try to photograph them?
Yeah, if you would. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll look at them now, and
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I can, but yeah, I'd like to see them.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Because again, much past there, and it starts,
Right. Yeah.
Pixelating and looking kind of funky. I'm assuming this is my granddaughter, right?
It'd be hard to guess, but yes.
Well, when you start looking at the features themselves, yeah, a little bit. It's mainly the proportion. I mean, you kind of got the idea vertically of the proportion of a child's face, but you and somebody else does this too all the time, where it's like you get the vertical proportions, but you forget about horizontal and the depth and the width, right? And you got to get both.
Yeah.
See, the first thing you want to do when you look at a head is look at how tall it is, but then compare that to how much you're getting from front to back. Because it will, tell you whether you're looking at it just from the side,
Right.
whether it's turned or tipped slightly. So
now this one I use the stump to try to blend the.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it softened it, quite a bit from the other one, which looked kind of scratchy. And
right.
And the thing when I tell you I want you to practice like laying down a tone, I want to try get you used to using a pencil and being able to do that without having to use a stump or blend it back. Because if you just take your time, not in a big rush and stuff, you can do that. It's just a matter of how much pressure and just building it up. And that's the main thing with your drawings is if you can get better at laying in a tone, then you'll be fine. Because it's right now.
And you just use like this pencil on its side?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
That, and you hold it like you're drawing with it instead of like you're writing with it.
Correct, right.
So you can, vary some of the pressure on it. Yeah. If you're holding it like you're writing with it, then you can't really do that much with it.
Right, yeah.
Okay. Same thing here. It's tiny. Again, you have, you got the general movement of the figure, and the proportions are probably a little short. I think you were trying to squeeze her on the paper. I'm glad I've never done anything like that, right?
Yes.
But overall, I mean, the drawing, I mean, you understand what it is. It's a geisha, and she's wearing a kimono, and she's got that, parasol, and the movement, in the drawing stuff, feels pretty credible. So, it's really kind of a nice little drawing. It's just, I'd like to get a higher res version of it, and then, again, controlling that pencil, and building up values. That's the thing you need to practice. And then we have this guy, the Bohemian. Now, you kind of shaved him, actually. He had a bit of a fuller beard, which you've you kind of shaved his beard back a bit. Eloise said something, or somebody said something to me. I guess it was Friday when we were drawing this guy, and they were saying something about the glasses and that they had never drawn anybody with glasses before.
That was me. That
Oh,
was
was that
me.
you, Susan? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there's different, you know, different people would approach this differently. But, you know, my advice is, you know, run toward the roar. You know, if the glasses scare you, do them first.
Okay.
And, you know, and get those worked out, you know, with the position of the eyes and stuff. And, you know, build it outward, you know, so that you get the right orientation and distances and stuff. Other people would kind of approach it with building the structure of the head, and then coming back and trying to put the glasses, you know, in the right.
That's what this I did on this, and the glasses with the last.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, you know, there's no right way, there's no wrong way. It's whichever way works for you. So, now one thing I will say, John, that you have to be kind of conscious of when you look at like the angle of the glasses, you know, from corner to corner here. And then you look at the angle of the eye, the angle of the bottom of the nose and the mouth. They don't match up. They're all kind of going a different direction. You know, like the mouth is moving upwards. Well, so is the nose, actually.
Yeah.
You're kind of moving upward. The eyes are kind of moving kind of almost straight across, but slightly down. And the glasses are tipped even further. And so, you know, you got to work on kind of aligning those so that they all kind of move, you know, across that plane together. You know, sometimes if you're like somebody like me who puts your glasses in your pocket and tends to sit on them a lot, then, you know, your glasses will actually do that. You know, it becomes kind of a fashion statement. You know? Yeah. With one way down here and one way up there, but it doesn't really help you see very much.
No.
But anyway, and then these are the ones that you sent in where you had, I guess you had just kind of pushed the contrast on them.
Yeah, right.
But again, that didn't really do.
Yeah, I'll retake those and send them.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, this is the original you sent in. And even this one is like really low resolution. I mean,
yeah, that was the first one I sent you.
Right.
Said, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, it's tiny, you know, again, right around about 200 pixels. And it's like, wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, by the time you blow these up, they're just kind of a.
Didn't you get my painting of the woman on the porch?
No. Woman on a porch.
That I showed you. I started it, and I did some more with the sort of the woman sort of leaning over the rail, a wooden porch-like effect. Obviously, you didn't get it.
Yeah. You know, I'm thinking though, you know, I remember seeing something, but that was like a week ago or something like that, wasn't it?
That was the first. It wasn't finished, and I finished it. I finished it off. When you saw it a week ago, it wasn't finished. It had.
Oh, okay. Well, I haven't got a new version. Yeah, I haven't got a new version of it.
You didn't get that? Okay.
No. Mm-mm. No, I did not. I'm sorry.
Okay. No.
Okay.
Strange. Okay.
All right. Well, you know, when you resend me the others, you can send me that.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be happy to look at it and see what's going on with it. All right. So next up, we have Miss June Wang. And
Hi.
Hi, June. You know, June's been busy. She's been drawing, you know,
How cute.
yeah, chubby little alien looking, you know, folk. Babies always look weird. They can't help it. So June,
Yes.
tell us a little bit about, where these two babies came from. Do you know them?
Come from the internet. It's Facebook.
Oh, you've been trolling Facebook.
FaceTime. Facebook, not a face. Yeah, Facebook. Yeah, Facebook. I saw the picture. It's a funny picture. I just take a shot and then did it.
All right, so you've been trolling Facebook for baby pictures, huh? Okay. Well, I would imagine you could find a few on there. Yeah. Check out my son's page. It's full of baby pictures. Yeah. He's got enough of them these days. Okay. And then, how about this lady right here?
This lady from the magazine.
Magazine, okay. Including the one standing on the tree?
And this is from the, Facebook.
This is Facebook? Okay, all right. And then these are your eyes from 2 weeks ago, right?
But yeah, yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Was it 2 weeks ago? Or no, almost 4 weeks ago now. Yeah.
4 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, because
4 weeks ago, before your vacation.
Right, yeah.
Last lesson.
Okay. And then, here's another baby playing with a little boy playing with a slingshot. Right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. It's, I guess what I would say about this drawing is it's hard to tell, is he a baby? Is he a little boy? It's hard to tell his age. He looks.
Yeah, I have the struggle to draw the baby. Always the bigger the age, just.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I can tell you why that is too.
Huh.
And
How to
resolve
this?
Tell you why your children look older.
Yes.
Than they are. Like this is your grandson, right?
No, I never married. I don't have anybody. Just me, happy single.
Oh, I thought you had like.
This is my church friend's son.
Oh, okay. Because you've drawn him before.
No, the first time I think.
Really? Okay. I thought I remember. Anyway, okay. So here's the thing about drawing kids.
Yes.
And I'm going to talk from my own personal experience because I tend to make them older too than they really are, and it's really easy to do that. And the problem generally is it's either with the proportions, right? How big things are, on their head, in relationship to each other. And or the other thing that it could be is the contrast. And one of the things that I do, and in just looking at the drawings that you did today, right? The reason that a lot of these children look older than they are is because you've made a lot of the outlines and stuff way too harsh and way too dark.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So you could make them look softer. The softer you make them, the younger they're going to look. See?
Okay.
So, maybe not bear down quite so hard on the pencil when you're outlining things. Be real careful. Like for example, let's just talk about this little girl, okay? And so, you've got her sitting and she's got, her arms kind of coming forward and her hands. And then you've got her face back here. And yes, we want to look at the face, right? That's kind of the focal point. the thing is, if you look at this, you get this really, really dark, hard outline around the face, right?
Yes.
And I understand, you're trying to say that there's a jawline there and there's the edge of the hair and stuff like that. But when you make this so hard and so strong, what it does is it flattens out the shape, because it's about the same kind of edge and the same value as what you've tried to draw for the mouth and the eyes and the nose, everything in here. And if you just took that dark line away, and I'm not saying, take the line completely out, but if you just fade it back a little bit, then she would look years younger.
Oh, okay.
Same thing out here with her arms. Now, yes, babies and young children have a little extra fat on their body, and they do tend to be kind of pudgy and stuff like that. But, you want to do that with kind of the thickness and the width of the arms and the limbs. You don't want to necessarily make them look like they've got muscles or pillows,
Mm-hmm.
And that's, again, you're kind of overstating. You can have that come in, but it doesn't need to be that dark, because there's probably not like a real distinct hard fold there. There's probably just a slight little tone right in there. And that would do the same thing to make the arm feel round, and not really flatten it out. But because the outline of this is almost as hard as the outline along the edge of the arm, it makes it look flat. Okay? So they have to vary in value and in hardness, right?
Okay.
Do that. So that's the thing with kids. Same thing is true with women. If you want to make a
don't go there.
Hi, how you doing? The same thing, if you want to make a woman look younger, the more hard edges and things that you put in her face, the more you're going to age her.
Oh, okay.
And that's true with like young boys and young men and stuff like that. So, you got to kind of think a little bit, when you see a value or something like that, and think about how old you're trying to make them look. Just keep in mind, the younger they are, the softer you want to make them. And so you want to kind of play down, the contrast. If you've got somebody who is my age, in their like, mid 60s to 70s, right? Then you can go ahead and sharpen some of those lines, and that will put a little age on them, and they'll look their age. So just keep.
I see.
Like, for example, see, you've got this woman right here. Okay. And, she's probably, mid 30s, maybe early 40s, right? As far as the way your drawing looks. I don't know how old she really was, but, that's kind of, you would kind of guess, mid 30s, early 40s. And again, it's because of, how distinct and how hard the outlines are on her face. And, age her a bit, maybe. Okay?
Okay.
Now you see this guy right here? You can do that, and it's fine.
Okay, yeah.
And we know that he's kind of an older guy, right? So, you can get away with that. So it's for each one, you got to kind of find the appropriate, level of contrast and how hard and how soft they are. Okay.
Okay.
All right. But, nice geisha, right? And see, with her, it didn't matter so much, right? There's a fair amount of contrast in here, but you simplified the face down so much that it didn't really hurt it. Now, when you get to like, let's go look at Audrey. Her. See, she looks a little bit old, you know, doesn't she?
Yeah, this is old.
Right. And again, and
Yes.
and you know, I'm not saying that, you know, I did it much better because I kept messing with my drawing and I aged her too. I probably didn't age her as much as you did. Okay.
Yeah.
But now you got some nice things going on in the drawing. You know, I mean, the way you're laying down your tones, and the tones themselves are really pretty soft. And if you just kind of lighten up on the hard edges, you know, in the outlines of things, then you look younger.
Okay, let me try. Thank you.
Yeah, same thing with this girl, right? And overall, I mean, you know, this drawing works pretty well. Excuse me while I cough, sputter here. And again, you know, you're laying down your values and things, and they're, you know, fairly soft. You're kind of doing, you know, a John thing though, where you're putting down the value, but you tend to kind of do it as a right-hander, right? Because you got that 45 downward, you know, 45-degree angle on just about, you know? And again, think about the shape or the form you're trying to describe and change the angle so it moves.
Angles.
Yeah, in the direction.
I always forgot. You reminded me many times, I think.
And I'll probably remind you many more. Okay? It's fine, you know. You know, I have to remind myself sometimes. You know, it's because it's easy, you know, when you get into a drawing, you're just happily drawing along and you kind of put it on autopilot and you're just kind of you know, and you kind of, you know, turn off the thinking part. So you got to be careful about that, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right. And then we have Rebecca, who, I don't know, you know, has Rebecca snuck in yet? You know, is she giving us a little presentation here? Let's see. Okay, we got to go the other way. There we go. Okay, let's see who showed up. Oh, Richard's here. Hey, Richard. How you doing? It's good to see you, sir. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I don't see Rebecca. All right. Rebecca's been drawing out of that Barbara Bradley book, you know, on drawing figures and clothing. And this is her drawing. Now she's drawing it from a drawing that Barbara Bradley did. And this is Barbara Bradley's drawing right here in the book. And what Barbara is trying to emphasize is how to get the fabric and stuff to move around the form and to feel like there's some volume and stuff to it. And, you know, Barbara would do tons and tons of stuff like this. So, but, you know, it's a great book. If you guys ever run across it or, you know, want to look at it, you know, it's very instructive, you know, for anybody trying to draw the figure. So, she was here on Friday, right? So we see this guy. And, you know, she did a sketch and she made a lot of notes. I'm not quite sure why. Maybe she was going to paint that. Same thing here, you know, with a geisha. Then we have my granddaughter, you know. And, you know, I mean, you know, this looks like a little girl.
Yeah.
Again, she hasn't really overstated a lot of the outlines and stuff. You know, they could be a little softer maybe, but you know, she did a pretty good job. And this is really pretty linear, you know, not a lot of tone. But she tends to work that way. And then this is the Native American woman. And again, it's actually a pretty good likeness of the woman she was drawing. She kind of got, some of the feeling for, her. And it's, it's fairly soft. So not bad at all. So let's see, who else? Okay, well, we have Miss Susan Adair. Susan, we got to you. It's not even 3 o'clock, right?
Right. Okay. And the guy's not here yet. Okay.
Okay. So you're using colored pencil, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you got our bohemian guy here. Now you've given him a lot more character, than I think he had, and that's not a bad thing. It's fine. But yeah, he looks crustier here than he did in the actual photo, which again,
Okay.
well, it's it's kind of it's almost like a whimsical drawing of him, kind of a character. I like the beard, and all the directions that the beard's going in. That was, a good observation. And, John, we were talking about, moving in the direction of the plane or the form. And that's what you've done here, Susan, is you've laid that value in. And because of the direction that you've laid it in, it makes that hat feel, like it's vertical, or that plane is moving, upward. And it does. Now, if with this, right, if you had done the same thing here, right, and I'm not saying move in the same direction, but rather than kind of like a 45-degree angle, and do the whole thing, if over here you kind of maybe moved like, this direction, over here you kind of moved slightly downward, from that center point, then that, that whole hat would have felt more three-dimensional. So, just keep that in mind. You always want to move in the direction that the plane is moving.
Okay. Yeah.
That makes sense, kind of, sort of?
Yeah, I was just trying to get a difference between the two shapes, but yeah, I see your point.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
yeah, I'm not saying change the value up here. It would still be light. But like, these pencil lines are moving in the right direction for this plane, right? But when it comes up here, rather than continuing, see, stop there and then move, and kind of make that flatter across there. And then when you get here, kind of move down again, and it could be light. And yes, it's moving just about the same direction as that, but it's the change in value that's going to, separate those two planes away from each other.
Okay.
This being darker, that being lighter. Okay.
Thank you.
Let's see. And then we have my granddaughter, Audrey.
I didn't do too well with her.
It's okay. Believe me. She's hard to draw. I've tried drawing her a couple of times, and I struggle with her all the time. She's got kind of a cute little face. And, she's very fair because she's got that really blonde hair. And again, it's kind of like what I was saying with June. You just have to kind of watch, the value range and not overstate things. Now, in your particular case, you actually kept the values in the drawing relatively soft. Okay. And
Okay.
so, when I looked at this, I was kind of thinking, did you put a mask on her?
No.
It kind of looks, it kind of looks like, maybe she's wearing a mask.
It's a shadow type thing.
That's the shadow?
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be. Okay. All right. But it has, well, it kind of has that shape. It could be a mask. And if it were, it'd be fine. I mean, it would be kind of appropriate for the time that we live in. Well, yeah, the main thing is, you got the contrast. It's more the proportions here. She's pretty much a classic 1/3. It's like, from the brows to the forehead, and then from the bottom of the nose to the chin. They're all like 3 equal distant, blocks in there. And then, proportionally, it's like you're going to get 3 blocks this way, and you're going to actually get, close to 4 moving across, because even though she's kind of 3/4, she has a lot of distance, a lot of depth, in her head, because of the hair and the hairstyle she's wearing. So it kind of pushes that back part of her head back there a little bit further. That's it. Other than Wanda, is Wanda here? Hello.
So you didn't get my other drawings then. I sent the eyes in since I've been here, and and I sent you a parrot, and the other girl that was the Indian girl from last week. But
Oh, I thought we looked at those Thursday.
oh, okay, I wasn't here. So,
you were here Thursday of last week. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure we looked at those last Thursday.
okay.
But that's.
I just.
Are you going to be here this Thursday?
Probably not. I've got a doctor's appointment, so no, I probably won't.
Okay. All right, well, I'll try to pull those and then put them in for next Tuesday then, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, okay. So then we got Wanda, and let's see. Wanda's done a couple of drawings. So this is, when we're drawing faces. This lady's name is Maddie, who modeled for me. This is my friend Shane McDonald, and I actually like this drawing of Shane. There's something very Shane-like about it, but she's really got that hair kind of flowing and moving and stuff on it. This is a painting that she was going to start working on. Now, this is not her painting. This is another artist, but she was going to try to do her version of it. And I think Jacqueline had painted this as well. It's not the first time I've seen it. There's my granddaughter. Okay. And, she aged her a little bit, but, she still looks like a kid. So not too bad on that one. This is our bohemian guy. Now, she made him look a little younger by making his beard dark rather than white. But, hey,
But this face better.
Huh?
I like this face and this guy better than the other one.
Okay. This is her geisha. Okay. She did some nice drawings. This is the Indian lady, Native American lady. Okay. So anyway, that's all I got. That took us a whole 48 minutes, didn't it? All right. So now I'm going to torture you. I'm going to show you what I did. Okay. This is my.
I sent 2 pieces in that I had started before your vacation because I hadn't worked on that much after. And then since you've been back, I've sent you, let's see, 2 dog portraits and a butterfly piece out in watercolor. And I don't remember if it was anything else or not.
Yeah, we've looked at all of those.
Because if you don't talk to me lately or take physical therapy, I'm not here much anymore, and I didn't get to see him.
Oh, okay. All right. Are you going to be around on Thursday?
Well, this Thursday I doubt it. I've got an orthopedic appointment at 1 o'clock, and I don't usually get back till 3. So.
So next time we'll see you is when? Probably next Tuesday?
I hope so.
Okay.
Maybe Monday I could be here. I don't know, but Monday you do something else.
Yeah. Well, Mondays, Wednesday.
You show the art,
Work Tuesdays and Thursdays.
work. Yes.
Uh,
I hope I'll be able to be here. I have Tuesdays and Wednesdays physical therapies, and Thursdays is orthopedist, and one day is a dentist. If I don't visit a doctor a day, it's the day is not worth living apparently.
oh, wow. Okay.
But I'm sorry because I would love to be here long.
Yeah.
More.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll go back. I'll pull some of your work.
Okay.
In fact, well, here's an idea. We got time. All right. Let me run through these real quick, and then we'll go back to the folder. They may still be there
Okay.
from last week. And, let's take a look to see what's there. Let's see if I can find yours and find Susan's. Yes, Avatal.
You received my work today?
What time did you send it?
I sent it late.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. So the answer is no, I haven't seen it yet.
I'm sorry.
All right.
Unfortunately, I have to leave, but I will join Thursday probably.
Okay. All right. So yeah, we'll see. My Thursday is already getting filled up. We got lots of stuff to put in there. Okay. Anyway, but I'll do that. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much. I enjoy classes.
Okay. So anyway, this is my attempt at Audrey, and even I was okay. I was okay for most of the drawing. And then I went back in and I overstated the features. Got them too dark, and that made that aged her by about 3 years. Right there. So now instead of looking like 5, now she looks like 7 or 8, and I was a little kind of not happy with myself about that. But, oh well. And this is also one of the problems with working with colored pencils. They're difficult to erase. And so now this guy, I'm pretty happy with, I think I got a little bit of him in there. And he's a bit of a character.
Good job.
Her, for 20 minutes, I got the movement and kind of general proportions. She's a geisha. Okay. And then this lady, I was fairly happy with her. There was a lot of stuff to draw on her, though, all working stuff. So I just kind of focused on the head, and then I just put in enough of the body that you kind of knew it was there. But you could easily spend, another 2 or 3 hours, working, on just, the dress and stuff that she was wearing, because there's so much there to work with. So anyhow, that was mine. So let's go adventuring. Let's go see what we can find. Okay. See if we can find some of Jean's and Susan's. And I don't know if Avatal, she said she had to go.
I'm expecting somebody to ring my doorbell any minute now.
Okay.
In my house.
Let's see. Let's see what I can find. And if you got to go, you got to go. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see, Thursday. Well, no, unfortunately, I kind of moved everything out of there. All right, so I've got Bob's and Eloise's stuff. Yeah. All right, so I'll have to go back and, try to gather things up, and I'll get it in the folder. And you said you didn't think you're going to be here Thursday, so I'll put it in Tuesdays. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right. Okay.
May happen to me too. I don't know.
Yeah, you too. Probably Avatal as well. So, I'll stick it in there.
Sorry about that. I wish I could be there more often.
Hey, it's fine. It's fine. It's hard keeping up with, who shows up for a class and who doesn't. We always You know, I've always like this lady, Jenny Haynes. You know, she sent me stuff in last week. I downloaded it and I put it into the folder. I keep moving it because she hasn't been here, you know. But yeah, I'm trying to keep up with all of you guys, and when you're here and when you're not. Yeah, sometimes that works pretty good. Sometimes not so much.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, but no, we'll get it. It's fine. Anybody got anything that we need to cover before we all go away?
I just, I don't know if you mentioned it or not, on the 12th, Friday the 12th, Benson is having their drive-through holiday lunch.
Yes.
Right.
And that'd be from 11:30 to 1, so I don't know if that'll affect the class or not.
It might, you know. Yeah, now that isn't actually Thanksgiving Day. That's just
No, right, no, it's the 12th, Friday the 12th.
right. Okay. But hey, you know, I know it will affect Armando. He'll be there.
I'll be there.
That's right.
Everything is free. I'll take it. If I don't need it, I'll pass it to somebody else.
Okay. Well, see, Armando, you know, you're living like a true artist, you know. That's the thing, you know, there's only one reason that artists go to art shows, and that's because the food is free. Food and wine. It's like, hey, you know, show up, let's eat, you know.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'll have to start displaying my work.
The 12 is Tuesday.
Get a booth.
Well, no, you don't. I mean, you know, we're just talking about like gallery shows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah, those, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you always submit your work, and you know you got to pay your $25 or $30. So you want to show up and you want to eat at least $25 or $30 worth.
Definitely.
You know, to get your money's worth out.
Yeah.
So the 12th is Friday, so probably I won't attend class. Sorry, that day. I'm gonna get my free food. And
That's not 11:30 though, Armando, if they start.
yeah, but I wanna be there before they open the gate. So
Yeah, he doesn't want to miss in case somebody gets 2 plates instead of 3.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I figure it's probably better later. I'm thinking 11:30, everybody be lined up down the road and blocking Roswell Road.
I'm getting 2 plates, one for me and one for the lady. So
Yeah. Well. Oh, you're gonna get her over to your house and put her on her couch.
they asked me if I have a guest, so I put a lady now. So we're going together.
I see. Okay. Armando's got a strategy. Wow. Okay.
Never too old.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm only getting one dinner for myself. And that's it.
That's selfish, John. Pick up
That's
a little plate.
that's called looking out for number one.
You and Travis Street.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, hey, you know, before we all go away, I've got one more thing I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. I was over at my brother's house, as you all noticed yesterday, because we had a problem with the audio when I played a video, and I was using the county computer. So I'm still trying to figure out what that was and stuff. But I went over there Sunday, and you know,
this house?
huh?
This is a nice house. Who is this house?
This is my brother's house in Winder.
Oh, whoa, that's a nice house.
Yeah, it was built right around about 1901. Okay.
Yeah, that's a long porch at front.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's about a 4,000, 5,000 square foot house. It's a big old house, you know.
You have the porch around the house?
Pretty much so. Here, I'll show you the whole house in just a second. Anyway, I was just working on a canvas. So I had this old scrap of canvas in the back of the car. This is my new little plein air box that I've been playing with. And I really like that thing. It's lightweight. It's easy to carry around. You know, easy to mount onto a camera tripod. And it's pretty stable. This is the house. Okay. Armando.
Oh, yeah, that's a nice house. You see that porch in the summer, you sit there to drink a cold beer. That's good.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you can actually get up here on the Widow's Walk. You know, that's what they call that. So yeah, you can. There's the main hallway in the upstairs, and you can walk right out onto this little porch too. This is actually a very nice porch to sit on because it stays cool and shaded, and you don't get a lot of the road noise, off the street. So anyway, that's what I was painting. Somebody was insisting on calling me now. Okay, so that was my paint box, and I don't normally work on white, but I have this large palette, and I don't have any gray paper for it, so this is just an old paper palette that I'm using, and standard palette, got it out there, and starting to mix just kind of a neutral, to begin with. And so I started sketching out the house. And so, this is my initial sketch, just kind of finding out where I'm going to put stuff. And then I started, putting in some color blocks. And notice that I'm not using white. I'm using this darker gray, in to replace the white as a base. It's where the white, quote unquote, is going to go, but there really is no such thing as white anyway. And then from there, this is kind of where I ended up at, and I just laid in, big blocks of color.
Oh, that now look better, yes.
Yeah. Well, now, and, the thing I want to point out is, what looked like dark gray doesn't look like dark gray anymore, does it?
Oh.
See, because it's got all these other values around it. Huh. And then there's.
Are you going to show some of the pieces that you did on your plein air on a Saturday?
I did already.
Yeah, I've already missed everything.
Oh, okay, but hey, you're here now, right?
Well, yeah, I wish I could be here all the time.
Okay, well, here, let me see if I can go find some of them. Let's see.
I can't get a ride to places because my concierge only rides Monday through Friday. So Saturdays and Sundays, you're stuck, kind of.
Okay, well, let me see what I can find here. Let's see, I don't, would they be there? Because I've downloaded a bunch of stuff recently. Maybe no. Well, here. Let's open that one up. I can show you that one because you probably haven't been here to see that. Let me just kind of thumb through this real quick. And I'm sure I've. Okay, let's see. It's like I said, it's hard keeping up with you guys. Who's doing what, when, where. Monday. Oh, here we go. There we go. Open that one up. Okay, now I can't move it. Okay. There we go. Got it. Let's see, West Virginia.
Oh, 12, 23.
We're getting there.
$12.
Yeah, from there down. All right. Okay, we're ready to rock and roll here. All right. So yeah. So you were asking about some of the stuff that I was doing in when I went up West Virginia, and well, wait a minute. You were asking about the weekend too. What did I do with those? No, stop that. Why not? That one. And there's one more. Yeah, right there. Okay, I think I got it covered, Gene. All right, let's try this. So,
Great.
all right, so we'll just start over here. So, Saturday, I went to Lost Corner, and we painted out there. And this is a painting that I did that afternoon. One of my friends, his name is Saul. He was painting at Lost Corner as well, and so afterward we went and had lunch, and then we went up to a place that we had gone, or I had taken classes from Benson quite often, and that was over at the river in Morgan Falls. And this young lady was sitting out there with her dog, you know, basically playing on her phone, reading a book, and she got in the painting. So this is like about a 2.5-hour painting out by the river. And so that was one. I was pretty happy with that. You know, it was like late afternoon.
Nice.
Yeah, I have to play with it some more. But let's see. Then this is the one that I did in the morning at Lost Corner, and this is the house that's there. Everybody see that?
The top of a house. Oh, now I got it. Yeah, now I got it. Now I see it.
Yeah. So that's the painting that I did, and then we had to get it in a frame. And Sunday, you know, they were going to put them up for sale. Now, I don't know whether it's sold or not. I haven't heard anything back yet, one way or the other. But
How big was that? Did it end up, Charles?
just 8 by 10. It's small.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, you know, when you only have like 2.5, 3 hours to paint,
Right.
you know, you're not going to get a lot done. So, you know, I was happy with that. I was kind of playing with, you know, pushing the color, you know, particularly like in the background to try to get the effect of the light or the trees being in light. And then in the middle ground, you know, everything's kind of, you know, falling into shadow because that big oak tree. And then you're back into light in the foreground again. So, but, you know, for a little,
It's nice.
yeah, 3-hour painting. Yeah, not bad. Looks like a house.
It's a 10-hour painting. It still looks nice.
Yeah.
Sometimes you work on them for longer than that, and they never look good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, yeah. Sometimes the more you work on them, the worse they get. I've had that happen too. So, you know, it goes both ways. And then this is a painting that I did recently, and it was kind of an experiment. Back around about January or so, I took a whole bunch of you know, smaller canvases and little scraps of you know, board and stuff like that, and coated them out with, you know, different sorts of backgrounds. And this is all metallic paint in the back, just in the back, and it's all gold, copper, and silver was the combination. It's all acrylic paint, and I just kind of patched it in and then blended it all together as a you know, just as a base. And then I put this face And this is a friend of mine. Her name is Janae. You know, real pretty woman. She's kind of strawberry blonde hair, you know, freckles, very fair skinned. But I was just kind of doing this as an experiment. Now, the photo I'm kind of disappointed in because you don't see the color, but there's actually quite a bit of like yellows and pinks and turquoise, greens and blues in there that, you know, the camera just didn't pick up, you know, in the photo.
I think the metallic paints do that when you photograph it.
Yeah, I'm thinking when, you know, the camera was probably seeing the reflectiveness of this, and it kind of killed all the color in here.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the face actually has a lot more color in it. It's kind of, in fact, it's sitting right behind me here. Maybe I can hold it up and show it to you guys. And maybe you can see that it does actually have, let's stop sharing that. And then I'll have to talk so that my head gets big on the screen, right? But that's the actual painting. Everybody see that?
Right.
Yeah. Right. So there's a fair amount more color in there than we were picking
more
up.
blues in there than
Yeah. Yeah, particularly like the turquoise and the oranges and the pinks and yellows. And you can see them pretty clearly, you know, in the paint surface itself. But then when you photograph it, it just,
it almost looks white.
Yeah, it all just kind of goes away. So, anyway. But yeah, I was actually really happy with, you know, this piece. And I'm gonna play with that some more. You know, because that's a nice background, particularly for, you know, people who have kind of like fairer skin tones. So I want to experiment with that some more. And then there's this piece, and I finally finished it about, what, 2-3 weeks ago?
Yes, I was here when you showed that.
Yeah.
That I saw. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Well, that's been drying, and it's at the point right now where I have to do what we call oiling it out, where I'm going to have to take some like stand oil or some kind of like liquid or something like that, and go over areas of it, because as it's drying, it's getting a little kind of powdery looking. And so I'm going to have to put a coat of oil on it and let that dry. And then after that's dry, then I can actually varnish it and it will be done. But I'm, you know, I've been living with this piece, you know, for a while now that it's finished, and I keep looking at it, and I still like it, you know. That's highly unusual for me. I usually find things to, you know, kind of pick at, so.
You mean you got that piece of furniture?
No, I don't have this piece of furniture. That was in the church.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. No, my house doesn't look like a church. It looks more like a museum. Yeah.
You can use it for anything.
Well, usually I don't stand behind it and talk to Maria a lot. You know, I really don't. I just, you know.
Maybe when you get back to the center, we're gonna get you one out there in your shop, so you stand behind the ambulance and then talk to us.
Why would you want to do that? You know?
Just for the heck.
Okay. Yeah. Usually people want me wheeling around on that little scooter I have there, you know, kind of, you know, tell them about their painting. So, but, you know, and I hate to disappoint you, Armando, but the chances of me going back to that center and actually physically teaching classes on site, not real good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Pretty much so done with that. Okay.
Okay.
Now you might go back to the center. Okay.
Yeah, I need to go back to use the gym.
Yeah, But yeah, but no, I'm pretty much so done. I'm staying out of there. So I like Zoom classes actually. Those work out pretty good for me. I like the commute more than anything else. From the coffee pot to the computer, it's like, hey. All right, Gene, can you see this?
I see like three or two buildings on the left, and yes.
2 buildings on the left?
It looks like what's in the front? Like, what is that right there?
This is an easel.
Oh, okay. Now, very small.
Yeah, with a paint. Yeah.
Okay.
This is a panoramic shot of what? It was Friday. Yeah, it was Friday when I left. Yeah. So this would be Friday morning. This is what I woke up to look at. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Now, you wouldn't know it, but down below here is a whole town and a bunch of mountains. And in fact, what it looked like in the evening, you know, when I set up there and I started this painting, was something like that.
Oh.
But you can't see any of that.
What a difference.
Because it's all covered in fog. All you could see is kind of like down in here. That was about it.
Wow. Wow.
All of that was covered up with fog right there. But this is actually on the border of West Virginia. It's in Virginia, Western Virginia. And the town is called Parisburg. Okay, or at least it's spelled Parisburg. But none of the locals call it Parisburg. When they talk about it, they say Pursburg. Pursburg. And it's like, wait a minute, where'd the rest of the letters and syllables go? You know, but,
they're unmentionable. But yeah. What a difference in the time of to see what.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and that was the thing. You know, it was so weird. You know, I don't think of fog. You know, like if you're like way inland, you don't think about, you know, fog so much. But it's like every morning I was there, you'd get up and it was literally about 10 o'clock before the fog would lift.
Wow.
You know, and I mean, it's just like absolutely thick, you know. So you didn't really drive anywhere. You know, I didn't drive anywhere because I didn't know the roads that well. And if you drive through the mountains of West Virginia, it's real easy to go off the side of the road. And it's about 200 feet down.
They don't have any rails there.
No. In a lot of cases, they don't, you know. Yeah, it was a interesting and different experience, you know, driving around there.
Good in Georgia.
Yeah, beautiful country. Beautiful country. I mean, it was just absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, this is the painting that I was working on that morning when I got up.
Wow. And
it actually kind of looked like a Monet. This is kind of the front view of it. I was happy, you know, with it. I mean, kind of got the effect of the fog and the trees kind of come into the fog. So, yeah. This was a day or two before. This is a little creek that was up in the mountains, you know, that I painted. And then this was the last painting that I did just before I left on Friday afternoon. And I was painting this house over here. And, you know, I think I did like 6 paintings the whole time I was going.
Wow.
And, you know, didn't finish even one of them, you know, because, you know, if you're painting plein air, it's like you start something and you get to the point.
Finish it because the daylight changes.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's like
30 minutes and then you got a photograph of it so you can work on it inside.
Yeah. 2 to 3 hours, you know, and it's like a whole totally different thing. You know, you're not painting the same thing anymore. So, you know, but that was my great adventure up to West Virginia. You know,
Very nice.
I don't know whether you heard or not, but I discovered that I actually have 3 sisters and a brother up there.
Holy cow.
Yeah, so I got introduced to a whole new
Family.
What do you mean? You mean the, well, I don't know my question. Papa was doing things?
No, my father divorced my mother, you know, and it was my mother, my sister, and myself, right? And then he remarried, actually on 2 occasions.
Okay.
No, he married one woman and had a child with her who was a daughter. That's my, you know, out of the 3, they're not older than me, but, you know, she's the next one in line, and she's the older of the 4. And then after that, he divorced her and remarried again. And then he had actually 5 children with the last woman. And one of them died when they were young, and the other 4 survived. And so I've got, 3 sisters and a brother up there. So.
Wow.
And I got to meet them. Well, I got to meet.
It's very interesting how you caught up to them though, after all this time.
Yeah, well, yeah, we can blame Facebook for that. You know, I actually found my half brother. You know, he goes by Joe. Anyway, I found him on Facebook, and we started talking. And because he spelled his last name the way that, you know, my father by birth did, you know, it's like, are you related to this person? And he said, yeah, he's my dad. I was like, oh. So yeah, we had lots to talk about, lots to catch up on. And,
yes, I guess you did. I don't know how you had time to paint with all of that going on.
Well, you know, there's always time to paint. You know, people have lives, and you know, so they're off doing what they need to do, and that left me with a little bit of time to go do what I do. So, and then we get back together, and you know, I'd meet a whole new, you know, section of the family, because I mean, you know, Joe is 61, Kathy is 60, like 64. And then the 2 other sisters, I think like the youngest one right now is like 54. Yeah, about 54, 55. But all of them have children. You know, some of them have 4 or 5 children themselves. And some of those 4 or 5 children actually have children of their own, you know? And I was kind of small. It's like trying to keep up with who's who and who goes to who and who's what. And yeah, it's like, are you a child? Are you a grandchild? You know, it's like, where do you kind of
or a great grandchild?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because and the thing is,
big family.
Yeah, it's like with my older sister, it's like her kids. It's like a lot of her grandchildren are adults. I mean, we're talking, you know, 20s, you know, 20 and almost 30-year-olds, you know, who are having their own children at this point, you know, and so it gets kind of wild, you know, and then we have, you know, then it's like some of my younger sisters, you know, they have their sons and daughters who are just having their children, you know, so they're still like in the, well, yeah, they'd be my nieces and nephews, right? But then I have great nieces and nephews as well, so it's crazy.
Boy, have you got a lot of portraits to paint? We're going to set you up on March 3.
You know, that's something I did not advertise while I was there. Thank you.
I was afraid they'd know what you do.
They
invite themselves.
They kind of have an idea of what I do, but yeah, yeah, I don't think that's a high priority for them. You know,
I'm glad, because we need you to work on what you want to work on.
Yeah, well, and I'm, you know,
and you do a lot of portraits and figures.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of at the stage where I'm pretty much so I'm like John Singer Sargent, you know, and kind of look like, you know, I ain't painting no more mugs. You know, that was his final statement. It's like, okay, I'm done with portraits. I'm gonna do what I want to do, and you know,
and that's it.
that's it. And
You've earned the right.
yeah, and I'm kind of there, you know, kind of at the point where, yeah, if I'm not really interested in painting it, I'm not gonna paint it. So, it's, you know, I'm just
Well, that's what makes you sane, and that's what keeps you happy. I can tell you that.
Well, now I don't. The happy part I get, the sane. Yeah, I've never been accused of that, so you know. That's, you know, most people have thought, you know, through my whole life that I was pretty crazy. So that's like, and maybe I am. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm crazy or whacked or anything like that. But I guess, you know, I just view life in a very different way, and I have different priorities. So it's just kind of the way.
That's a good thing. That's why everybody is not alike.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that is true.
Well, I appreciate you going through all your backlogs to keep me abreast of what happened, at least that I got to see. I love to see pieces, and you learn from everything you look at. That's nice for me.
Well, thanks for asking, and yeah, I'm always happy to share stuff, you know. So anyhow, like I said, I think we're going to call this one early today. It is only 3:26.
The only reason I'm here today is because they didn't keep me as long as they usually keep me for physical therapy, and I got here in time for your program. Sometimes I don't get here till 3 o'clock.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you made it.
Well, it's good to see you again, Miss Jean.
It makes my day. I can tell you that. Very enjoyable.
So anybody else got anything that we need to cover before we go away?
No, just hello to everybody.
Okay. All right.
Thank you very much.
Tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
And I'll be. Yes, we're going to be talking about water media tomorrow.
Water media.
Water media. How about that?
Okay.
Okay. All right. See you at 10. Bye.
Bye.